feel the flow. We dissect the plot. The acting is insane. Laughing at the dialogue. These movies are a pain. Grab your popcorn, settle in for the ride. Our podcast is the place where bad movies collide. We're true blue fans of the RiffTrax crew, mocking cheesy films. It's what they love to do. From Plan 9 to The Room, we've seen it all. They'll make you laugh and cringe. They always give their all. True Blue Riffcast, we're your podcast hosts, talking about the movies that are the worst of the worst. True Blue Riffcast, join us on this quest to find the laughs in films that failed the test. Tuesdays at 10. Tuesdays at 10. Tuesdays at 10.
Hey guys, welcome to the True Blue Riffcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Dave. My name is Christine DeBelle, but many of you know me as Susan from A Talking Cat. And as you know, I have to go and get my cheese puffs out of the oven. So have a great time with Jeremy and Dave, and see you soon.
Thanks, Christine. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the number one RiffTrax podcast in the world. I am Jeremy, and I am joined, as always, by...
What's up, everybody? It's me, Dave. I have a cat. That's right. Use your cat. Use your cat.
Hello, Dave, and hello, Trash Cat.
That's right. Does he look like a trash cat? Look, it's a true best guy. It's a true greatest guy. That's correct. You bet my nose? Okay, fine. I'll see you later. Okay, bye. Okay. So what's up?
Not much. It's been a little while.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Dealing with some illness. And,
yes, that was me. That was dealing with illness.
Other dumb work crap for me. And
I was downstairs in my room, shimmying and shaking like it was Friday night. Only I was dying. I was dead. But
I don't believe that you would go do any sort of dancing on a Friday night.
You don't think so?
No.
Doesn't sound like me?
It does not sound like you at all.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could be surprised, but it doesn't sound like you.
Yeah, but I was shimmying and shaking in my skin because I was so cold. It was really bad. Hello, Joy. How are
Drink
you?
delivery service. Gotta love it.
Special.
We got all kinds of special appearances. We got the cat. We got my wife.
I'm not that special.
We got
I come every once in a while.
Oliver and Sis and Yarn. Both say hi.
Hi, guys.
Today we are going to be talking about the Lord Protector.
Is that true?
Yeah.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna try and talk about the movie The Lord Protector because
guys, there's not much to it. I gotta tell you, I watched the whole movie, and it's a movie.
It's a movie.
It was full length. Now, for like all the movies we get that are like like they're the reduced runtime. How come this wasn't one of them?
Oliver says we're going to, just like how we tried to talk about Lancelot Guardian of Time, we do actually have stuff to say about this movie.
There's a connection between Lancelot. Like, it's like one of the only things we could find about this whole movie on the internet.
Because there's not much. There's not much about
there's
this.
There's a connection to Lancelot and the Guardian of Time on there.
Yeah. Before we get to that, though, and before we get to name that Jeremy, because it's my turn, apparently, let's take a look at the weekend box office, the slightly extended weekend box office, because Monday...
President's Day.
And it was busy. It was busy at our movie theater, busier than it is on a normal Monday. But
did you have any President's Day's mattress sales at your movie theater?
No. Mattresses are the last thing I want in my movie theater, Dave.
Oh, that's right. Have you ever seen that that there's a movie theater, I think we may have talked about this before, but there's a movie theater in Sweden or Switzerland. What's the difference, really, when you really get down to it? Where it's like the theater is like just like tiered mattresses with black sheets, and like you can buy like a bed to sit there and watch the movie on a mattress with several other people who have also bought mattresses. And if I'm not kidding, there's a real that's real.
You're not gonna be watching the movie if you're on a bed. Sorry, that's. Well, I'm so glad we don't have that.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna send it to you right now because I just found it.
Well, while he's sending me that, let's take a look at our top 5 movies from this past weekend. Of course, Captain America: Brave New World is up number 1, made just over $100 million. The newly opened in America, Paddington in Peru, in second place with only $16 million. Dogman in third, Heart Eyes in fourth, and the Chinese produced animation, it's probably way different than how I'm going to pronounce it, but it's Ni Jia 2.
I guarantee you it's different than what
which apparently broke all kinds of records attendance-wise over in China.
A billion people saw it.
That's what, like a tenth of their country?
I think they have 1 billion people. I don't know.
I know they have a lot of people over there.
I don't know either. But I sent you that. I sent you the theater bed.
All right, I'll check it in a minute here. Something happened in China 5 years ago, Oliver? I don't remember anything happening.
Yes, this little thing called Tiananmen Square. Maybe you've heard of it.
But I did. The only movie out of these that I've seen is Dogman. My
how is that?
10-year-old is obsessed with the book series. It was good. It had a good like story, like a good message about family. Oh, it was good. It was good.
Oh, were there cars flying through space if it's about family? That's a little Fast and the Furious joke.
That was originally supposed to open like next month.
There's another one?
Yeah, Fast X Part 2.
Oh, that's one with John Cena. Is John Cena in those movies now? I bet he is.
I think he was in the 9th one or the 8th one.
Was he really? I was just being stupid.
No, these are the ones with Jason Momoa.
Oh.
Now. But
he's got to find new work now that he's not Aquaman or Game of Thrones. I don't know.
No, but he's Lobo now, so he's still in the DC sphere. Fast and the Furious, beating a dead horse, and 10 easy steps. Yes,
that's correct. Yeah, but you want to know who's really beating those dead horses in heaven? Paul Walker.
Dave.
I know. He's really in hell. But you should check out that because I'm trying to trigger you. You should check out that thing I sent you on Facebook.
Hot live Facebook message checking.
This is a real theater.
Reclining
in,
beds instead of seats and
in
unlimited
fact,
snacks. Yeah, that's no.
You don't like that?
No. I don't know. Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in chat, and I want everybody to tell us in chat whether you would go. Number one, if you would go to this theater. Number two, if you would take a date, and number three, if you would leave a mess for Jeremy to clean up.
I'm not the one who has to clean up the messes. I tell who has to go clean up the messes.
Okay.
I delegate, Dave.
Yeah. So anyway, it's real. I didn't make it up. Why would I do that? How could I? How could I make up something like that?
No
Oliver
deal.
says no deal.
No. I can't take this off.
What is that? What are you wearing? I asked you that before we started, and you never told me.
So this is a brimless hat. It's not like a Kangol or anything. It doesn't have. It's literally just a hat without a brim. I got it at Six Flags, and it's
Six Flags over Michigan.
Great America, I think it was. I don't even know if it's still open. It was in Gurnee, Indiana. But when I got this when I was like 16, and I had luscious flowing locks on my head.
Now you don't. Yes.
I haven't had any locks on my head for. Oh, it is okay. It's Great America, Oliver. Thanks for clearing that up. No, I'd never leave a mess for Jeremy to clean.
Mikkel Esquire says hard pass.
Oh, it's still open. Okay.
Citizen Yard says those beds look comfy. No, I would never leave a mess for Jeremy to clean. And what date would I take there? Lol. You're okay. All right. We love you, Citizen Yarn. So are you ready for Name That Jeremy?
I'm as ready as I could ever possibly be.
Okay, so Jeremy pitched a gimmick for the game for Dave That Riff's last name that Jeremy. He said that we should start picking picks out of spite to piss each other off, and I was like, but that's the thing about our podcast is that like we don't have, but like we don't have spite towards each other. We're like way too nice.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know that would be the gimmick. And I was like, okay, like who's going to believe that you and me are mad at each other? Like, what do we have to be mad at each other?
Anybody who's only ever listened to our episode and it was one of the draft episodes.
Yes. And yes, we should do a draft. Let's do another draft.
And I took
What draft should we
Psychotronic
do?
Man from you.
Yes, that's right, you bastard. But anyway, so this week for Name That Jeremy, we're doing a triple threat.
Ooh.
3. So I went and I drew lines from the following movies, and Jeremy's going to have to decide which of the following movies these lines are from. Could be from Roller Gator.
Okay. Oh, no.
Could be from Baby Ghost. And could be from Little Lost Sea Serpent.
Little Lost Sea Serpent episode now available on your favorite podcast platform, by the way.
Yes.
And no, we didn't plan this to coincide with that. This is just no good options. I agree.
So yeah, you don't have any good options, but I think you're going to do well.
Now, are they all Joe Estevez quotes?
Well, you'll have to find out. I'm not like, what do you think this is? No, they're not. Okay. So, Let's go ahead and start with number 1. I wonder how many scenes in Joe Estevez's book, Wiping Off the Sheen, are dedicated to this performance.
Oh, God. I'll say Baby Ghost for that one, because I don't really remember that.
That's Roller Gator.
Damn it.
Okay. All right. Next one. So you're 0 for 1. Next one is, and if you get stung by a jellyfish, I'm not peeing on the wound unless you say I'm your girlfriend.
That is Little Lost Sea Serpent.
That is Little Lost Sea Serpent. All right. So here we go. Number 3. This is Madame Zora. Did I sell the director his condo in Chatworth? All signs point to yes.
That is Baby Ghost.
That is Baby Ghost. So you're 2 for 3. Good job.
Because I actually remember the Madame Zora customer or character.
Okay, so here's the next one. Save me, fake Bela Lugosi.
Save me, fake Bela Lugosi. I will also say Baby Ghost for that one.
That is Baby Ghost.
Yes.
So that's what, 3 for 4?
3 for 4.
Okay. Next one is, he only married her because he thought she was Helen Hunt.
That is Little Lost Sea Serpent.
That is Little Lost Sea Serpent, correct. And the last one, the lesson is clear. Always punch middle-aged women in the face, just in case they are a secret ninja.
That is Roller Gator.
That is Roller Gator, so you're 5 for 6. Yeah, I told you I thought you'd do a really good job. You didn't believe in yourself. Maybe you should.
A little bit of a misfire at the beginning, but it all worked out in the end.
That's okay. Yeah, it all worked out in the end. Hey, bud, how you doing? Why are you looking at me like that?
Speaking of misfires,
oh boy,
how about the Lord Protector?
Yeah, you know, as far as like weird fantasy like movies go, like I think I prefer the ones that are shot in South Africa. Because the ones that are shot in America kind of really suck. Like Lancelot really sucks. This really sucks. Like it's, you know, or like even like you take something like, you know, I would say like the Magic Sword, or what's the other one that you and I really like a lot? Jack the Giant Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really, really, really good. I mean, you know, for the purposes of this, what is it about Americans that we can't really seem to get like that sword and sorcery bullshit right?
We definitely can't get it right.
Because, man, this really sucked.
Well, I think one of the problems is this movie didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be.
It really did not.
Because sometimes it felt like a goofy kids movie. Sometimes it just felt like a normal sorcery fantasy movie.
Yeah.
And then it kind of felt like it was like trying to head into your territory for a bit because it has this futuristic stuff in it. Like we've got the access panels with like codes to get in. There's the Matrix thing that they build.
There are repair crews, which I thought for sure was a like a foreshadowing thing, because like whoever heard of repair crews in the ancient lands of yore, you know, with goofiness and all that. But it's like no, it's just like it's just a bunch of community theater actors. Like
it felt like a bunch of community acting people, but a lot of the people in this movie have had long careers in acting. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to count Charlton Heston because he was just a narrator for a couple of scenes.
How? See, now that's interesting. That might be one of the most interesting things about this whole escapade, and there's really not much to say about it. Like because you can't find any information about this. You would like to know how they Eric Roberts Charlton Heston into doing this, but like that information is not available.
There
because
is so little about
there is
this movie online.
shockingly little. There is more about the Paradise Motel.
Even the
is about this
Wikipedia
movie.
page for this.
Oh, yeah, the Wikipedia page is 1/3 dedicated to RiffTrax. That's not a joke.
No, it's not. The whole plot that's listed on the Wikipedia page for this is: in a medieval world, the Lord Protector must save the earth from destruction and solve the riddle of the chosen. The Lord Protector travels to the heart of a magical evil and sets the stage for the ultimate showdown between good and evil. That's it.
Okay. So I decided, because ChatGPT for me has topped everything else as far as like getting like the results that I want, to get the information that I want, and all I have to do is tell it to cite sources, and it'll bring me back all kinds of crazy information. So this is what I said, hey, ChatGPT, tell me about the movie The Lord Protector, The Riddle of the Chosen. Go in depth and cite sources. And this is what it gave me. The Lord Protector, The Riddle of the Chosen is a 1996 adventure film directed by Ryan Carroll, starring Patrick Cassidy, Darren McBee, and Terry Austin. It is a low-budget direct-to-video movie that aims to capture the spirit of epic fantasy, albeit with limited production resources. You want me to keep going? Okay, I will. Plot summary. The story follows the Lord Protector, played by Patrick Cassidy, a chosen warrior tasked with preventing the forces of evil from overtaking the world. The main plot revolves around a mysterious riddle that, if solved, could either lead to the salvation or destruction of the realm. Throughout his journey, the Lord Protector encounters a variety of allies and enemies, including wizards, warriors, and mystical beings. The film's narrative structure is built around the classic fantasy tropes, such as the hero's quest, a mystical prophecy, and impending doom that only the protagonist can prevent. However, due to its low-budget nature, the storytelling leans heavily on dialogue and narration rather than large-scale action sequence. Themes and style. While the Lord Protector, the Riddle of the Chosen, attempts to deliver a grand fantasy adventure, it is constrained by its production limitations. Yes, we know. Despite this, the film explores several common themes in the fantasy genre: destiny and fate, good versus evil, and the power of knowledge. Visually, the film employs dim lighting and practical effects, likely due to budget constraints. It has to just keep telling us
that the movie had low budget.
Yes.
This movie also had some of the dumbest names that I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
Especially Watachi.
The costume and set designs are reminiscent of 1980s fantasy films, with an emphasis on medieval aesthetics and mystical artifacts. Oh, look! Patrick Cassidy as the Lord Protector, Darren McBee as the Stranger, Terry Austin as Lady Diamond, Jay Underwood as Magician Quest. That's Magician Quest. What?
Okay, this is way wrong now, because who did it say played the Stranger?
Darren McBee.
Not in this movie.
Oh, okay. And Charlton Heston, narrator, uncredited. The legendary actor provides a narrator of the film, lending it a sense of gravitas despite its low production values. Did it?
This movie also had
I'm not reading the rest of this.
Olivia Hussey?
Yeah.
Hussey? I'm not sure how to say it.
I'll just say Hussey. Because there's no reason to say Husey.
She was in I almost said something really stupid. She was Juliet in the 1968 Romeo and Juliet that almost everybody watched in high school. Yes, Charlton Heston was credited. That's the other thing that I got wrong. But she was also in Black Christmas, Death on the Nile, the original miniseries version of It. She was also in a few other movies that have been riffed. Obviously, this first one's not a RiffTrax, but it was Mike, Kevin, Bill. She was in Quest of the Delta Knights. She was also in the RiffTrax feature Virus that we got last year. And then she was also in one of the classic RiffTrax, Ice Cream Man.
Woo, Ice Cream Man.
I
think she was one of the nurses in when Jan Michael Vincent and whoever went to the crazy town.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was there.
And as for this movie's connection to Lancelot, Guardian of Time, the director of this movie was the producer for Lancelot, Guardian of Time.
Yep.
He only ever directed one other thing called My Cavalier, which apparently came out in 1997.
It's not like My Immortal.
He was one of the Red Sentries in this movie, and he was in Witchboard from 1986, which is another one of those movies that I watched when I was way too young.
Witchboard? What is that?
It's about a Ouija board thing that possesses somebody.
Like Ouija Shark?
Probably a little bit better than Ouija Shark.
So which is worse than this? Which is worse, the Lord Protector or Ouija Shark?
Ouija Shark is worse.
Yeah,
I think that's not even like a question.
Yeah.
Zero hesitation there.
This is actually like a movie.
Yeah, this movie to me felt like one of those movies that would randomly come on in syndication at like 2 p.m. on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what the effects, the special effects look like. I think it was Mike. When the movie ended, he said something about the sub-video toaster effects that were in this movie. Like they weren't even video toaster level, which was a nice callback. There was a lot of good jokes in this.
Oh yeah,
I laughed like loud a lot.
There was a reference to the classic Revenge of the Sith joke, and your friend Palpatine and your pal friend Patine.
Yes.
That was pretty good. So if you've been with RiffTrax for 20 years, as we have been, then you'll definitely appreciate that joke.
Yeah, it had to do with the main villain, Penticus.
Penticus?
Yes.
Not Pendragon.
Not Pendragon,
Not
Penticus.
Pendragon.
And also, there was his son, either Primus or Priamus, depending on which character was talking at the time. And Joy and I were trying to figure out what we had seen him from. And it turns out he was in Uncle Buck. He was the skeezy boyfriend in Uncle Buck. And he was Johnny Storm in the unreleased Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. So there's even a little bit more connection with other RiffTrax.
Well, I'll tell you what, I started watching Super Zeros a little bit before we started because I thought I don't have anything to say about the Lord Protector. Like, not a thing. Because, like, oh, no, come here. Hey, no. Hey, Cumber.
You crazy cat.
What are you doing? Cumber. Ah. Okay. There you go. Go. Okay, bye. Love you. But he was tearing down stuff he shouldn't have been, so I had yeah, so do you want to talk about the movie?
So
like the movie itself? Because I hardly remember a thing about it.
You watched it more recently than I did.
Watched it like I watched it at like 2, which was like 6 hours ago.
So the Lord Protector guy He's the last Lord Protector.
Oh, is he?
Because
Lord Protector, like Sir Oliver Cromwell, that Lord Protector.
all of the stuff with the dark mist from when they built the Matrix and it unleashed the dark mist, they caught it, they bottled it up basically in a giant like well in the floor, and
My God.
then it just kind of got forgotten, like those things do, like the One Ring and stuff, and
Oh, that was forgotten.
the Lord Protector, he gets contacted by a voice in a spotlight, the Olivia Hussey, and she tells him that it's time to gather the chosen and defeat whatever the dark mist and save the realm.
Mhm.
And it's nonsense. This movie is complete nonsense. Like there's some semblance of a plot, but most of the stuff that happens is just there's a guy in this. He's a wandering. Yes, remember this movie had a low budget. Yes.
Yes, remember. I said single elimination, double elimination tournament.
He was
Something, I don't know.
a traveling trader, and he had a possessed hand.
Yeah, there's a guy. Yeah, like okay, so that's one of his companions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like okay, so this guy has got like his silver fox long hair, like I'm supposed to have at my age, but I don't. I keep wondering, like, when's my gray hair gonna come in, so that all the ladies will finally want me. They'll be like, "Oh, he's old, but he's got the silver fox hair." So we're just gonna jump all over him. It hasn't happened yet, and I'm getting kind of impatient, ladies. Okay, so but he's got that going on for him, but he's a kind of like magic man, but not. And he has a hand that his hand is like not like his hand is not part of him somehow. And he can't control his hand, and it becomes kind of a problem.
Yeah, you could say that. The hand is always like ratting him out.
Yeah.
I did just look up this guy. His name is Jonathan Fuller, who played him. His name in this movie was like Malthon, and it turns out that he was the main bad guy's brother, and his brother chopped his hand off, and then he put his hand in a puddle, and the dark mist gave him a demon hand. But all he did, it's a Nilbog situation where his name was not Lamb, and he reversed it to Malthon. But this guy,
he immediately gets called out on it.
Yeah, this guy was the first one of the first alumnus from the Alabama School of Fine Arts.
Wow.
Wow. That name.
All the things to put on your resume.
The Alabama School of Fine Arts.
The Alabama School of Fine Arts.
And he
established in 1866.
He apparently moved to back to Brigham, Alabama. It just says following 9/11, Fuller returned to Birmingham, Alabama, and became the artistic director of the theater arts department at the Alabama School of Fine Arts.
Yeah, after the love of his life was killed at the Pentagon on 9/11.
In 1984, I'm just looking at his trivia page now. In 1984, Fuller was chosen from a nationwide search to be the first actor to play Jesus Christ in the Western Hemisphere's largest passion play, The Glory of Easter, at the Crystal Cathedral. That's interesting.
Is that Joel Osteen's thing?
I don't know. So there's your weird little tidbits for the day. Alabama has a School of Fine Arts. I think that's the thing that I'm most surprised by in that whole thing.
Come on.
Apparently, Fanto is surprised by that the most too.
Yes, he is. He's very surprised.
One of the guys he's looking for is a fighter. He's not a warrior. He's a fighter, and he's
I'm a lover, not a hater.
he's played by this guy with one of the thickest Scottish accents I think I've heard in a movie that didn't have like David Tennant in it. It was very
David Tennant Scottish.
very Scottish.
Very Scottish.
And of course, he falls in love with this assassin lady who is also apparently one of the Chosen. It says that he has to solve the riddle of the Chosen, but like there was never any like riddle that
like
they presented.
Content, I mean, that's a little Dark Tower reference for you guys. That book series sucks. I gotta say, anybody who likes the Dark Tower, you're wasting your time. It's not good.
I've never read it, so
Don't worry about it.
isn't it like 13 books or something too? It's super long.
7. It's 7. It's like Harry Potter.
Hey, at least it's not 48 or whatever Discworld got up to.
Or what was that one that the guy wrote, but then Brandon Sanderson had to finish? Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time, yeah.
I started reading that in like 2023. And I think I lost some friends when I went on Facebook and I said, so guys, I'm reading Wheel of Time, and not to be a dick or anything, but like I'm halfway through it, and when does this get fun? And people actually came out of the woodwork to say, well, you got to read through book 4 for it to really pick up. I'm like, I'm not going to read 3.5 more books before the books get interesting, okay? I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long.
Yeah, like one book. You get one book for me to get interested, and that's it.
Yes, Rivius, the Discworld books are the best. I do agree. I have quite a few more in the series that I need to purchase, but the ones that I've read are very good.
If you want to know what other book series suck, there's a couple of books that fantasy books, and it's about these lesbian orcs that open up a coffee shop, and it's the dumbest shit I've ever read. And it's really popular, and I said so, and people got really mad at me. What was it called? Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. It's terrible. I hate it.
I almost thought you were going to say they opened up a bakery, and then you said coffee shop, and I'm like, holy crap, that sounds hilariously awful.
Yeah, but okay, so like the description of this, I'm gonna have to clean up a big mess after this. The description of this book, like someone pointed out, like it's just a big warm hug of a book, and I'm like, why would anybody describe anything like that? And whoever reads that is not like, well, I'm gonna pick up this book. Like, no, you'd be immediately repulsed if I went up to like, boy, my book monkey. It's like if I told you that my book monkey was a warm hug of a book, would you want to read it?
No.
Okay.
That is way the wrong way to describe that book, too.
Yeah, warm hug of a book. Give me a break. It's disgusting. It's like makes you not want to read it.
Oh, man.
So anyway, the Lord Protector, Oliver Cromwell. He overthrew Charles I. And no one ever thought that So like before, Jeremy and I were like, we're gonna have to go down some rabbit hole because we don't have anything to say about this stupid fucking movie. So this is it. I'm going to talk about Charles the First and Second, and how the Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell took over England from them, and well, no one's ever going to use the regnal name Charles after this. But here we are in the year 2025, and we have King Charles III. Boy, were we wrong, right, Jeremy?
Oh my gosh.
No, Citizen Yarn. The English history and the Temeraire book series is way more interesting than any English history I could possibly give you, because we just went through the extent of my British history prior to George V. Okay, so.
Well, I mean, that was like 1650, whatever, so.
Yeah. Rivius says, I didn't come here for history. Oh, come on, Henry VIII. Henry VIII. I am.
Oh, don't start that. Please
Okay.
don't start that. Does anybody else get that in here? Like Oliver, probably. I don't know.
But anyway, continue with talking about the Lord Protector here.
There's one part where they like fight off cavemen with what basically boils down to magical fireflies.
Yeah.
And a giant spotlight in the sky.
Now, okay, that spotlight, you know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of, remember in Bog when they were fighting the fish vampire? There's some kind of Dracula. So they're fighting the fish vampire, and they have to go back to their stupid police station, and they couldn't light it right. And so they took like this huge spotlight, and they shined it right on. It's like the harshest light I've ever seen in the history of RiffTrax. And they showed it right on these old Fs that are in Bog. I felt like that was when they were doing the spotlight and like all these like weird zombie creatures were fighting them. I thought like it made me think of Bog and how they had to get like the same spotlight because it was just like it was like really harsh light. And there was like,
Yeah.
You couldn't hide from nothing.
So
anyway,
at this point in the movie, we've got our Lord Protector guy. We've got the one-handed wizard. We've got our Scottish fighter. We've got our herbalist, healer, assassin lady. We've got the son of the main bad guy following behind them. They don't know that he's there, and the main bad guy's like, "Oh, he kidnapped my son," and Lady Diamond. And
which one was she? Which one was Lady Diamond? Because there are two ladies. There's one where I'm not sure. Like I was never quite sure if she was bad. She like owned like one of the taverns that they stopped at or something, or she like come into my tavern.
That's the assassin. The assassin lady.
Okay, but then there's another lady.
There was Lady Diamond, who she always wore like a bunch of white, and she had the what's the little thing that they carry, like the guys carry like the queen around on.
Oh, the glaive.
Yeah, she had that, and that's how they got out of the city that they were in. They all wore the white outfits, and they carried her out. And I don't remember if the Mariana Trench lady was with them or not.
That was great. Mariana, I'm glad to see you got out of your trench.
But they're going through basically an ancient invisible aqueduct. And like they're in there, and the bad guy's like, "Oh, I know where they are. Let's flood the tunnels." And this was where the first like control panel popped up, where they're like, "You have to close the door," and they're like trying to put in an access code on this control panel,
Yeah, you
and it's
have
like, wait a
access code.
second.
So, like, you really think this is going to be a your type situation
Yeah.
where it's like, turns out they're like aliens or some dumb shit. But no, it never pays off.
Nope, not even close to pays off. But they do call some people techno wizards. That doesn't really go anywhere, but they do use the term in the movie.
Yeah.
And they end up finally getting to where the bad guy is, and where the well of the dark mist is, and they defeat him through the power of friendship. And
very Kingdom Heartsy.
And that's it. They had a movie. They had a little bit more budget. They could have explained it.
Yes, there's just a little bit more budget. That's right. But it had a low budget, Jeremy. A low budget, and it had. But you know what? This movie really, like, it has a cult following. That's what the internet kept telling us.
Yes. You know,
is that this movie has a cult following, and I don't believe that it does.
I don't believe that either. I will say this about The Lord Protector. It's the most fun I had with any of this year's VODs. Because the other one was The Death of Richie. And that
I had more fun with that. What, a guy murdering his son? I wish that would have happened in this movie. Something that interesting. I mean, I know you would never murder your son, Jeremy. I mean, I know we don't have, like that, but like.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if he would have gotten to drugs real bad, I don't know. You never can tell.
Never can tell.
What a father would do for his child.
Father would. But it had a happy ending. He died he died in the 80s when he was 53.
Yes. I would. I can't get the straw in my mouth. I would definitely recommend this one though. Like I can't say I would, because man, like I feel like there are better done fantasy f-ups than this in RiffTrax. This movie I will watch probably again, not anytime soon, but in the future, when I'm going through, I'm like, oh yeah, we can watch this one. Or if it comes on the Twitch channel and if I just have that running in the background, or if I have just Pluto TV running on the living room TV during the day.
I think I might watch Lancelot again before this. And that's not really a dig on either movie, really. But I don't know. It didn't it didn't really speak to me the way that even we've talked about Yor a lot, amazingly. During this podcast, I think I would watch Yor again before I would watch this again.
You know what I will say? It sounds like you really want to watch Bog again. The number of times you brought that one up today.
Bog. Yeah, man. At least that one showed girls in their brasiers. The only other thing I remember about Bog and the fish vampire. And canceled again. What did I do?
What?
I didn't do nothing.
What's a riff aside from Bog and excuse me. What was it? Yor. What's a riff that you haven't watched in a while that you really feel like you need to watch again?
My gosh, there's so many. Hold on. Well, I just happen to have the RiffTrax website up. Let me just bring up my my library. Apparently there's an MP3 riff of the Karate Kid, so we definitely need to watch that. It's in it must have been a Kickstarter extra. in my library, and I know for a fact it must be it must be a Kickstarter extra, because in my library I have an MP3 riff of the Karate Kid.
Of the first one?
Yeah, 1984.
Hold on.
Bring that up.
Hold on. Let me see. Where's my...
Bring that mess up.
Where is my stuff? Mm-hmm. My library.
There's Mr. Miyagi right there.
What?
Yeah.
I am flabbergasted.
Hold on, I can give you a release date. It's gonna tell us right there.
This was a thing.
Yeah, I just found out
February 21st.
So, so we're getting it early.
So
it
the
is a
Kickstarter people must be getting this early. I don't know if this will even show up on here at all. Oh, look at that. There it is. Karate Kid. So this is Friday's release, everybody. The Karate Kid. I wonder what we're going to be talking about next week.
You want to do that?
I think we should.
Okay, let's do it.
Terminus. Yeah, Terminus. I don't know if I'd jump on watching that.
I don't know if I
again.
want to watch Terminus again because I remember too much about it. It was only like a year ago. What the heck is all
Wow,
this?
that was a very nice surprise. The Karate Kid.
I think I would like to watch The Christmas Martian again, revisit old Pooh Flower.
Good old Pooh Flower.
Good old Poofler. It's Spy High. You know what? I thought about Spy High a little bit while watching this, and I just thought that the Lord Protector lacked the charm of Spy High.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
I definitely want to watch RiffTrax again. And we're just gonna Paradise Motel. I want to watch that again.
Yeah, that was one of those instant classics.
That was an instant classic. There's Bog.
Ooh,
I need to watch that. Did we ever talk about The X from Outer Space? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did either.
There's Truth or Dare. I'm not going to watch that again because I really dislike that director.
I think I need to watch. I think I need to watch Light Blast again. It's been a while.
Gangster World. I own that, but I don't think I ever watched it.
I don't remember anything about that one. I have it in my library.
Lady Hawk. I remember loving that.
Yes.
Have Robot Monster. I don't think I watched that one.
I did also appreciate the suburban Sasquatch joke in The Lord Protector, where they were like walking through the stream and they're like, "Watch out! This is suburban Sasquatch land." And they're like, "Watch out for giant, extremely detailed nipples."
Max Havoc in the Ring of Fire. I remember Max Havoc. That was a good one.
Both of those were good.
They're both really good.
I think those are
different. Yeah.
I think those are overlooked. Those are very underrated riffs.
I'm not watching Shrunken Heads again because F that movie. Maximum Revenge. Why do I feel like that's something that I should know?
Revenge.
That's a prison movie, I think. I think we talked about it.
We did talk. That's where Dorkin's armor came from.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Where the guy comes up and just blows him away and then he survived.
He got shot like 6 times point blank in the chest, and he's just
What the
fine in
hell?
the hospital.
What the hell is Frozen Scream?
Frozen
Did we
Scream, we
talk
talked
about
about. Yes, we did talk about that one too.
You did?
Yep. Yeah, that was.
I don't remember this at all.
I think that was the first episode after Invasion of the Bee Girls, where Matthew J. Elliott broke the podcast.
January 15th, 2021. Okay, yeah.
Or it was either right after it or right before it. I don't remember much about the movie, but I know we talked about it. What year was that?
January 15th, 2021.
Whew.
So 4 years ago. Okay, now we're in pandemic land. There's Light Blast. I'm only on page 8 of 34 of my library, people. So, The Shape of Things to Come
Was bad.
Yeah, Hijack Flight 285. Not watching that again. Sorry.
That one was boring.
That was one of the most unremarkable things we've ever talked about on the podcast. Kill or Be Killed is great. I like that one a lot.
I haven't watched Spiker in a while either.
Well, that's a classic right there. A classic from 2018, which is 7 years ago now. The Visitor. That was I think that was the first riff of the year of this podcast.
Did that get riff of the year?
Yeah, it did. We both chose it for riff of the year. Yeah. The Power. Giant of the Unknown, which I think was our episode 0.
Yeah.
And
that was another one of those ones where we were trying to figure out why people held it in such high regards.
And then there's Zombie, a.k.a. I Eat Your Skin, which we really liked.
Great riff.
That's a fantastic riff. Rat's Night of Terror, which, of course, we both know that I hold in extreme contempt.
It's all that humping.
Yeah, gross. But anyway, I think we've gone back far enough here. Santa's Summer House. Yeah, we're in 2018 land now. There's
still some older ones that I remember really liking and just haven't watched in a while. The Dark Power with Lash LaRue. I love that one.
Yeah. There's Ice Cream Man. Maybe we should watch that. But we're watching Karate Kid next week, right?
Yeah. I think I have that movie.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to find.
I know. I'm trying to remember if I actually have it or not. I might not.
I was going through apparently, there's a Karate Kid movie coming out this year?
Yes, Karate Kid Legends or Legacy or something like that.
I was shocked.
They're combining the two separate movie universes in it.
Wait, I thought there was only one universe.
Well, because there's the one with Jackie Chan and like Will Smith's son, where he was teaching him kung fu, but it was called the Karate Kid.
I had no idea this was even a thing.
Jackie Chan's character from that is in the new movie with Daniel LaRusso, and it apparently takes place right after the Cobra Kai series.
Yeah.
And they're both training a new Karate Kid. And I don't know, I'm really interested in watching it. I think it looks really good.
But I thought that's what Cobra Kai was all about. Weren't they training like a bunch of karate kids, and they all got into a karate war at school, and everyone got all mad?
Never watched it. I don't know. I don't have Netflix, so I don't have Netflix, Michael. So that doesn't help me. But again, I'm sure I'll be able to get my hands on it some way or another, and watch it with the Just the Jokes release, which apparently, if you gave however much...
If you gave however much money I gave, because I have it, and I had no idea that I had it until like 3 or 4 hours ago.
Yeah, I did. 3 or 4. We just found out. How was that 3 or 4 hours ago? Or did you see it earlier?
I saw it earlier.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so at least we know what to look forward to this week. And it should be a pretty good one.
Yeah.
And hey, it's more Just the Jokes, so
yeah.
I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that being a stretch goal on.
I don't either. The Kickstarter. Man. I mean, you pay more attention to that than I do. So,
speaking of which, we're only a couple weeks away. It's about that time of year. Probably around the beginning of March again. That's when we got it last year.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what's going to be going on this year, where it's going to be held. And honestly, I know it's farther away for Dave, but I really hope it's in Nashville again. I think that's
man. We'll have to. Yeah, I'm not making any promises this year, guys, because it's really hard for me to get to these things now. What can you do?
Yep. What can you do? You can just watch it in your theater and look for
look for all my friends. Yes, that's right.
I'm gonna have to. If you can't make it this year, and I go, I'm gonna have to get some video messages for you from some people.
Uh-oh.
Maybe we'll save them for the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Could be fun.
Could be.
But yeah, I think that's probably gonna do it for us today, guys.
Should be about it. Yeah. Because we didn't have anything to say about Lord Protector.
Didn't unlock during
really
the
bad.
Kickstarter. Must have been unlocked after the fact. I mean, yeah, could be. Very well could be, Rivius. Thanks for checking that, because I honestly didn't even remember seeing it on there. But of course, it was almost an entire year ago at this point. So
yeah.
But yeah, if you like the podcast and you want to support us, best way to do that, follow us right here on this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/PBNawesome. It would be PB and Awesome, but somebody has that name and they've just been sitting on it for years and not doing anything.
What a dick!
Yeah, right. Who would do that?
Hey, do you want me to go kick him in the balls?
Sure, Dave.
I
would appreciate that.
Because that's thuggish behavior that I'm known for.
You got a nice pair of steel-toe boots.
That's right.
Yeah.
Run him over with my car.
Yeah. You can find the podcast on every platform. You can give us a follow on whatever platform you like to listen to us on. And yeah, I'm pretty much everywhere online as PB and Awesome.
And I'm Dave. You can check me out on X, formerly known as Twatter. And I don't have secret love children, everybody. So I'm not like that other guy on X. You can follow me at dchadwickauthor on X. And I won't disappoint you.
Find his books, places.
Yes, that's right. On Amazon. Yes, that's right.
Speaking of which, how's the new audiobook going?
Oh, it's going pretty
Aside from making the narrator
puke. Tell you that? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I'm gonna let Jeremy listen to that. Jeremy, don't go anywhere after we hang up, because I'm gonna bring up the guy almost vomiting. He sent me a recording of it. And
I need to hear that.
It's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, okay. Man, that's perfect. All right, guys, we'll see you next time right here on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die.
Rock till you die.